walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight.
Yes, people, welcome back to Let's Talk Premier League. We're here for another news thing. Do let me know if you can hear me, because my StreamYard just literally froze. I just had to quickly reset it. Also, apologies for being late. I was playing a bit of FIFA. The controller decided to not break, but it needed restarting manually. So, apologies for the lateness. Obviously, I tried to be on time. But we've got an awful lot to talk about. So less of all of that and more on all of the things we're going to talk about, because we're going to be talking Pogba to PSG. We're going to be talking Martial to Juventus. We're also going to talk about Bruno Fernandes's new contract that's been put on hold. Spurs want Adama Traore, and Bellingham is United's #1 target. But before all of that, as Webby says here, we have reached 700 subscribers, which is a madness, guys. So I just want to thank absolutely everyone who has helped the channel, from day one up until this very day. All 700 subscribers. It truly is remarkable, and I can't honestly tell you how much it does mean to all of us here. And mainly to myself, because it really is. This wouldn't be here without you guys. That's for sure. If it weren't for you guys, this wouldn't be here, because without the audience, I'll just be talking to myself, and that's the first sign of sort of madness, isn't it? So let's not hope for that. But as I said, a big thanks to everyone. If you are new and you haven't subscribed yet, please do think about hitting the subscribe button with the notification bell turned on as well, so you don't miss miss when we go live or when a video goes up. And getting your comments. I want to interact with you through this and whatever we're going to talk about. As I say, interaction is the main thing that we do love on this channel. But let's get into today's show, shall we? So let's start off with Paul Pogba, because he's come back to training. United are advertising it as pretty much Pogba's back and it's a brand new player, but it's not, because it's Pogba, and Pogba's been at United for about 6 years now, so it's not a brand new player. But obviously Pogba's out of contract when it comes to the end of the season, so that is the main thing there. Now, PSG are in talks with Paul Pogba regarding this deal, and we'll have to certainly wait and see on that, how this goes any further. Yeah, sorry, I just wanted to make sure that I could hear my the sound was all working. But as I say, PSG are in talks with Paul Pogba. This is coming from Julian Lorenz, who is French expert in transfers. Now, if you'll remember, in the summer there was talks of Pogba going to PSG. In the summer, PSG fans were less than happy. But when you've got the chance to sign Paul Pogba, who, if you can unlock and get the best out of, then you've got a world-class player. The issue with Paul Pogba is the inconsistencies within his game and within his attitude. Also, his agent's a bit of a wanker as well. So it is one of them that, we'll have to really wait and see. This is going to be a deal that I think that I think is a summer deal. You know, I can't imagine that they would pay for him. I don't think anyone will. No one will pay for him. No one will really pay for Lingard. If they do, it'll be really, really, really cheap prices. Dylan says, I'm here. I'm eating a burger. It tastes great. That is wonderful, Dylan. I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of you, man. I am. Do you think Pogba goes and Wijnaldum goes somewhere else as he wants out? I do think Wijnaldum has got a big chance of leaving. You know, it hasn't really materialised, has it? You know, it hasn't really worked out for either party. You know, Wijnaldum not having a great time, and Pogba and Pogba does want to go in maybe because Stapp had in the French league. Wijnaldum I can see leaving PSG, whether it be in the summer. I think it'll be more of a summer move. But honestly, looking at their midfield, I never really understood why Wijnaldum went to PSG, but yeah, it's a bit of a mad one, really. But I can see Pogba going there and Wijnaldum leaving. Obviously, Andre Herrera is getting a bit older as well, and you know, if you're going to lose Mbappe, which I think a lot of people think will happen, well, how do you appease fans with getting these world-class players in that PSG need? Well, Paul Pogba for free is not a bad deal. Obviously, he's going to be very high wages, and his agent will get a hefty fee. But that won't be allowed anymore soon, you know, with the new rules coming in from FIFA. So do expect a lot of Romano clients to leave and move clubs this year or sign new contracts, and the agent getting a whacking fee, because this is the last time not Fabrizio Romano, Jesus, Mino Raiola will get to move his clients and then demand an extortionate fee. So, you know, with those new rules coming in for agents, I expect a lot of Raiola clients to be on the move this summer. Dylan says here, since 30 subs. I know, Dylan. I know. We still haven't got rid of you. No, I'm joking. We love it here. We love you here, Dylan. We do. Dylan, no one cares. Mustafa, pipe down. Be nice. Why is everyone worried about Bruno's contract? His current deal until 2025. Yeah. I don't think anyone's worried. I think it's just, you know, what's going to happen. So I don't think anyone's worried. Although that is only 3 years left. Not long in football. Wijnaldum to Newcastle in the summer. Who says no? Wijnaldum if Newcastle in the Championship. I can't see what. Maybe he'll go there in the Championship because they'll probably pay him quite a bit. But that's the issue with Newcastle, is if they start, you know, if they go down, they're going to have to really rip out most of this team will go if they go down. I'm almost certain of it. Of course, you'll keep some of them. You'll try and keep St. Maximin. You'll try and keep Callum Wilson, maybe Almiron. You know, I can see Sean Longstaff staying because he's a local lad. Matty Longstaff probably the same, but you can conceivably see maybe they'll keep Dubravka and all of this, but there will be a clear out of some sort. And maybe that is the best thing for Newcastle, but they have to be very careful because the Championship is such a difficult league to come out of. If you go down into there, it is really tough. But maybe that was the idea of hiring Eddie Howe, is in case they go down, they've got a manager who can get them back up and knows how to get a promotion, which obviously Eddie Howe does have. I swear he played for Newcastle before. He did. He actually was at Newcastle, then went to Liverpool, I think. Yeah, he did, says Joe. And Dylan says, joking Mustafa, big up, best opinions on the platform. Yeah, Mustafa's opinions are a little wild, but we love them. But there's a bit more about Paul Pogba. Obviously, you know, he had his first day training yesterday, back training with the whole squad. Which United pretty much, I'm surprised they didn't unveil him with like a training shirt going, we've signed Paul Pogba on a 5-month contract until he leaves us. But, you know, all joking aside, he was back at training yesterday with the whole group. And in his first trainings, these are the words from Ralph. Paul Pogba had his first day training with the whole group yesterday, and in his first training session, he showed what an extraordinary player he could be. Pogba won't be available for selection in either of this week's games, though. So obviously, he'll be out for Brentford and whoever the hell you've got at the weekend. I absolutely cannot remember. And they're like, you've just had Villa. You got at the weekend. Who have you got? West Ham. How's that a 3 p.m. kickoff, by the way, guys? How is West Ham a 3 p.m. kickoff? That is a fucking madness. That is a madness. But yes, that is madness. We'll do a watch on for it, but it'll be on. It'll be a 3 p.m. kickoff, won't it? What do you think Everton should do next? Well, if you check out Niall's thoughts, I did a video specifically on this actual topic about the manager and about what I think should happen. I went through all of the sort of bookies' favourites, and I went for Big Dunk. I went for Big Dunk until the end of the year or end of the season. So yeah, check out Niall's thoughts from yesterday. Think I did it yesterday. Yes, it was yesterday because Martial and Rangnick had that bust up on the Saturday night. And yesterday I did it all yesterday. I think it was a 12-minute video, basically talking literally about the Everton situation. But yeah, I said Big Dunk until the end of the season as interim, see what he does. And if he does a good job, give it to him. If not, find someone better. Also, big up to Loveface. I'm not putting up them emojis. I think he's very happy. In my honest opinion, we give Big Dunk until the end of the season as interim to get the fans back, then bring in Rooney, Martinez or Potter. Ambitious. I don't think Martinez would go down well with your fans, would they? And considering half of them wanted him gone straight away. So I don't think Martinez is a good shout. Rooney, Potter, yeah, both good managers. Yeah. That's a good point. But yeah, I went through it all yesterday in Niall's thoughts, which is basically just short little 10-minute videos of me giving my thoughts on a certain topic. In fact, yesterday I spoke about FIFA. Today, just gone up is FIFA's The Best awards that were done yesterday. I gave my opinion on that and did an Argyle video. So please do check out all of them after. People blaming Ancelotti for this mess. I think we have to recognise how insane an opportunity at Real Madrid is. Again, yeah, look, of course Ancelotti would have left Everton to go to Real Madrid. If you didn't, you have to say, do you lack ambition? Now, I'm sorry, Everton fans may not like what I'm about to say, but when you're in the hot seat at Everton and Real Madrid are knocking on your door, goodbye. It's as easy as that, isn't it? As easy as that. But yeah. I have heard a lot of fans wanting back would take Rooney over all. Yeah, Rooney would do a good job. Potter would be an insane choice though. Ancelotti is a big part of what happened. The opportunity is massive, but he fucked his massively. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna say he didn't impact Everton in a negative way. Of course he did. But you know, when Real Madrid come knocking, he's going to leave. It was only a matter of time. But was getting Rafa really the sensible option? I don't think so. You've also spent a ridiculous amount of money and not really achieved an awful lot. So I feel like you need to get a manager who's good at building squads. That's what you need. You need someone who knows how to spend money wisely and build a good squad. Breaking news, Sky Sports, Diego Carlos tells where he wants to leave for Newcastle this month. Money talks. It does. Unfortunately, it does. Money is king. Cash is king in football and in sport, just in general. Actually, just in life. I bet you Boris would kick a homeless guy in the nuts if he was given probably even tenner. Probably even a tenner, Boris would do it. But, cash is king. and all of that. But let's talk about Martial. Obviously, we have spoken about Martial to Sevilla a few times. Be United pricing him out of a move, wanting all of his wages paid for and a £7 million fee. But Juventus apparently are interested as well. Juventus will not go beyond an initial loan with an option to buy for Anthony Martial, according to Romero Agresti. Relations between the two clubs remain excellent because of the Cristiano deal. You know, I mean, I just because you've sold a player between the two doesn't mean that that it's a good deal. Like, don't mean that clubs like each other. You could do a deal with anyone apart from Daniel Levy and Chelsea, but you could pretty much do a deal with anyone, couldn't you? If you've got the money and they're willing to sell, then you know the only issues you've got is if they're unwilling to sell and you haven't got the money to do that. Then you know. It's really that simple. But according to Romano as well, so that was from Romero Agresti. Romano tweeted, Juventus just keeping tabs on potential costs of a loan deal for Anthony Martial. There's no direct contact with Man U yet. Sevilla still interested, but their interest depends on United's final conditions. As mentioned, obviously, the £200,000 a week contract paid in full plus £7 million loan fee is apparently what United are looking for. Although if that's the case, they're going to have to probably reduce that quite considerably and be open to paying some of his wages. Although Ragnick obviously has spoken about the fallout between the two. Ragnick reveals his fallout with Martial has been resolved. I don't think it could be done so easily. I beg to differ. I genuinely do. But he actually spoke and said the matter is now resolved. He didn't train yesterday, and before yesterday, he will probably train today. And after training, I will then take the decision if he is nominated or not to obviously be in the matchday squad for Brentford. Barcelona also have proposed a swap deal between Ousmane Dembele and Anthony Martial to United. That is from El Chirinchiov. Chicharito or something like that. You know what I mean. El Chicharito, we'll just call them. But this one is a tough one. So in terms of Martial, obviously Juventus looking at him, Sevilla are interested, as are Barcelona, but all three of them want different things. Now, Juventus want a simple loan with an option to buy. Sevilla will probably want a simple loan and the fees to be reduced quite considerably, and Barcelona want to chuck in Ousmane Dembele. I'm presuming offload Dembele, bringing Martial on a cheaper wage and sort of help them in their wage budget, obviously. That, I think, would be the worst move for United. Going to get an injury-prone Ousmane Dembele would be a disaster. Juventus would be a good move if they can afford to maybe pay a bit more than Sevilla. And Sevilla would also be a good move, but you're going to have to pay a bit more. So it really is up to the club now and then setting them demands down. And we'll also think market value. Martial's market value right now is probably an all-time low. You get him out on loan and he starts firing, which is possible in La Liga or Serie A. His market value goes up. You saw that with Lingard and United didn't cash in. And they ought to have. They ought to have cashed in the summer. Ollie didn't want to, and that is part of the issue, isn't it? You know, when you don't cash in. Joe says Rafa was the right choice, I believe, but the injuries factor him and he hasn't been able to get the team back running since the injury problem. 100% the right decision to sack. However, the board have blood on their hands. Yeah, I have said Rafa was not given enough backing either financially, in terms of just pure transfers, just in transfers. So when Solomon Rondon is your backup to Calvert-Lewin, man, that is a disaster, and that is a disaster waiting to happen. And oh wait, the disaster happened. Tony Martial deserves a move. He absolutely does. Big up to Kenny. When did you stop working nights? I stopped working nights about a month ago or a couple of months ago, something like that. Month and a half ago, something like that. No point loaning him, either sell him or keep him. Disagreed him. believe it or not. You know, I think you could loan him, and there is value to loaning him. So as I say right now, his value is at an all-time low. You loan him to a Serie A side and he does well, his value increases, right? You let him go to Sevilla and he performs in La Liga, his value increases. It's all about the increase of the value of the value, because right now you're not going to get too much for Martial. Like you just won't. That's the bread and butter of it. You won't get much from Martial. Whereas you could conceivably see, if he went out on loan and did very well in La Liga, maybe getting 10 plus goals, or in Serie A getting 10 plus goals for the remainder of the season, then you could easily see that value go up a lot more than it did. Jesse Lingard, a prime example, really. His value at United before he went on loan to West Ham was probably 10 mil if you're lucky, for an unhappy benched player who hasn't performed in a couple of years, goes on loan to West Ham as an absolute madness, and increases his value by about 20 mil. So there is positives out of these simple loan moves that enable you to get the best out of it. So, you know, it really depends on the club, to be completely honest with you. Martial to PSG for Mbappe replacement, let PSG raid United. That might be an option. That might be an option come the summer. I still don't think PSG know what Mbappe wants to do. I think we can all assume and guess that Mbappe wants to go to Madrid, but he's not technically signed anything, so we don't really completely know what Mbappe wants to do. So he could want to go to PSG. He could want to stay at PSG, or he could go to Real Madrid, or he could even sign for Liverpool. So it's one of them. Loan is stupidity. No team is paying his wages and compensation loan fee, which United are demanding. Which is why I've said United are going to have to severely reduce their demands in order to try and recoup some money out of this. No club, I think, will pay £200,000 a week for Martial. Right? I also don't think no club's going to pay £7 million for Martial if they're going to pay a high loan fee, most of his wages. So there's going to have to be a sort of coming together as such, and United are going to have to lower their demands to make the best out of a poor situation, because I don't think Martial is ever going to work at United again. I think too much has happened since. Now, as I said in the summer, or as I said yesterday, with the Oval going on at United, new manager coming in, you could conceivably see that a new manager, maybe a Ten Hag or a Poch, may want Martial. So your best option is go get him out on loan and increase his market value so you can sell him in the summer if the new manager doesn't want him, or get him some good form so a manager's got an informed Martial to deal with when he gets back. Two things. You've got two options there, and I think United need to make it work. If we let Martial go, we're fucked. I don't think so. I mean, I think you're going to have to go to bat to the 4-2-3-1, the 4-3-3, however you want to move your midfielder around. I think it'll be a 4-3-3. I think that's the only way you're ever going to get any sort of midfield control, and that's even at a push. So I think you're going to change formation, which means you're going to go back to having one striker and two wingers or wide forwards. So honestly, unless Martial's willing to play on the left, he ain't getting up front, because you'd think Ronaldo and Cavani are both ahead of him in that position. And I think on the left is probably where he'll have to go. Now, it depends on if he wants to do that or what's going on in terms of that situation. So I think your best option is to get Martial out on loan, try and get some form back in this lad, try and make him a little bit happier in terms of playing football, and then reassess the situation with your new manager in the summer. That'll be your best option. Your best option is to let him go out, enjoy a bit of football, try and increase his form, try and increase his market value so that a manager's got more than one option next year. Because, market value is a big thing for United. But it's also a big thing for most clubs. If you want to try and increase the team's value, and you want to try and increase the amount that you can spend on players, well, selling players is your biggest earner, really. So they're the assets per se. So increase your asset by letting him go out on loan, maybe at a cheaper price. Joe says Martial is just going to rot on the bench at United. Him and Donny are going to have some serious problems. I don't think Donny will. I think Donny will be just fine, and I've got reasons behind this. Yes, this season I think he will. This season I think is going to be another write-off. It's horrible to watch. It is horrible. Now, unless United are willing to let him go out on loan, he will stay. I think United do need midfield cover, which is why they're reluctant to let Donny go out on loan. But I also think the new manager at United will like Donny, because I think you can conceivably see that either one of two managers will come in, Erik ten Hag or Mauricio Pochettino. Both of those managers heavily linked with the Old Trafford job. Both of them love Donny van de Beek. So I think Donny after this year may flourish at United. But I think that could be a positive for Donny. I think Donny will be fine. Martial will have to wait and see. Mbappe to come to Everton when Martinez comes in and brings Thierry Henry with him. Here we go. Greenwood needs to be starting striker with Ronaldo. That team needs to focus on the youth that they have at their disposal. I completely agree with you, but I don't think it will be with Ronaldo anymore. I think it will be a 4-3-3, and I think Greenwood should be starting over Ronaldo. You look at what Arsenal are doing with their young players: Bukayo Saka, Emil Smith-Rowe, Martinelli, Odegaard. They've built a team on young players, young, hungry players. That's what I think United should do. I think United should bring in the likes of Ilanga, Ahmad, Hannibal, Greenwood, Garner. I think focus on the youth, bring through the best youth that you can, use the players like Brandon Williams and all of that, have them as the backups, because they'll be hungry to prove a point. They'll be like, well, I want that shirt, so I'm going to fight for it. And I think you'll get positive results from that. Of course, you want the experience in there, so you'd keep the likes of Bruno, you'd keep the likes of maybe McTominay as a squad player, Varane, De Gea. You'd keep these players, but I think you need to litter them with some young players as well, which will be really positive as well. Duncan Ferguson has been appointed as new caretaker boss indefinitely. He will be backed by John Ebrell and Leighton Baines. Well, Everton doing the smart thing, I think, because there needs to become a feel-good factor at Goodison Park, and I think Big Dunk would bring that feel-good factor back to Everton. He'll get the fans on board. You need the fans on board. They've had such an awful time of late. So getting someone who loves the club, loves the fans, getting someone who's going to fight as well. I think I remember Big Dunk in just a long sleeve t-shirt, long sleeve shirt and tie at Old Trafford. I think it was pissing it down with rain or something, and you can with Dunk you can feel the passion, the love he has for his club. So, for me, that's a good move from Everton. Really, really positive move as well. Big Dunk is interim. Breaking news. It is big up to DC. Shush Dylan, Mr. Martial is shit, looking for attention. DC's just come in with an axe swinging. He's like, boom, I'm here. But let's talk Bruno, shall we? Because there's been a bit of, in fact, one moment. Joe says, it is the perfect timing too. He needs to go to Aston Villa and absolutely hammer Gerrard's boys. He does that, we get fans back somewhat. Yeah, I think you would. It's a big game, isn't it? I think you're at home as well, aren't you? At home? I think I just saw it. Yeah, you're at Goodison Park. So, at Goodison Park, Big Dunk has just come in as boss. If I was Everton fans, I'd expect a performance, and I think you'll probably get one. You'll definitely get fight. and desire from your team, because I think that's one of the first things that Big Dunk expects from his team. So fight, desire will definitely be the first things that you see in that new squad, and maybe a couple of signings might also go a little way. But Anthony Gordon looks a talent. I think that's probably one of the positives that Everton can take from this season. We have the squad to do it. You do, absolutely. 700 subs, absolutely. We're going to smash Everton, hopefully, unless an El Golzi masterclass. That could be a worry. He'll probably have a point to prove. Although Joe says he can't play. Why not? Digne can play. There's a transfer, wasn't there? Or is he it? I don't know. Why can't he play? Let me know. But let's talk Bruno, shall we? Sources close to Bruno Fernandes say that that it is only a question of time before he agrees a new deal. Bruno Fernandes is believed to earn in the region of £100,000 a week, significantly less than some of his Manchester United teammates with Cristiano on more than £400,000 a week, and De Gea earning £375k a week. That is according to Chris Wheeler from the Daily Mail. I think Bruno will sign a new deal. I think what they just want to do is what I think they'll do is, they'll just reassess the situation at the end of the season. Although the one concern I would probably have if I was United is that was meant to be this summer. The summer just gone was when you were meant to apparently, because there was talks last year that you were going to be he was going to sign a new deal in the summer, and he wanted to do it in the summer to take away from the fact that you were playing Europa League final. You were still pushing for Premier League at that point. Didn't sign it in the summer. So why was that not the case? So yes, he's not signing it in autumn, but that was meant to be done in the summer. Why wasn't it done? Now it's been pushed back to this summer. Now there's no concerns immediately about Bruno Fernandes and his contract. He's got 3 years left at the end of this year. At the end of this season, he'll have 3 years left on his deal. 1 more year, and you have to consider selling Bruno to try and get a new value off him. So I suppose one concern is why wasn't it done over the summer? Because that's what was being spoken about in terms of allowing the United squad to focus and all of that. Why wasn't Bruno? Why didn't he sign last year or last summer? That would be the question I have. But we'll certainly see on that. Bruno Fernandes and his representatives turned down a contract offer from United in the autumn. Bruno is looking for parity with the leading earners, given his importance to the team. United are relaxed and negotiations are expected to resume in May. That is according to Ornstein. And United have offered Bruno Fernandes improved terms, but he's looking to be one of the squad's leading earners. As I say, given his importance to the team, United are relaxed about the situation. And of course, he's going to want money. He's going to want to be around that 300, 350 echelon as one of the highest earners at United because of what he brings to the team and his value to the team. Because you think for the past couple of years, he's carried your club. You could probably thank the fact that you've even got Champions League 2 years in a row because of Bruno and others. So Bruno's going to want that importance put down in money, as everyone does. Like if you went for a job and they were like, "We'll pay you £5," you go, minimum wage is like 9. Well, I'm not going to sign it. So that's the same with Bruno. If let's say you're a manager. Right, of a firm, and they say the average earner gets, let's say, £9 an hour. We'll pay you £9.50. You go, that's not enough. I need to be compensated more for my role. I'm a manager. I need to have that pay increase that warrants what my job role is. And they go, well, okay. We'll give you £12, £13. You go, yeah, I can work with that. So it's all about, matching the money with the role of the player. It's quite simply put, very simple. United, get your checkbook out because Bruno wants some money. And you know what? That's absolutely right of him. It's absolutely right of him to want to have that money. Joe says he can't play. El Ghazi is on loan, so I doubt Gerrard will agree to let him play. Oh, can't believe he was just a loan. I thought it was permanent. Oh, yeah, I forgot it was a loan. Bruno 100% signs a new contract. He loves the club too much. I think the contract isn't his concern right now, so that's why he hasn't agreed to do it, just as he wants to push it aside and focus. Yeah, I think you could certainly see that being the case. Someone like Bruno probably is very focused and wants to try and win something this year. They've got two options now: FA Cup, Champions League. I have said multiple times that I feel like this could be the season United probably finish like 10th or something and win the Champions League. Some of you right now are completely wetting yourselves with laughter and you're on the floor and you're about to call an ambulance because you're laughing too much. But genuinely, this is the sort of season that United finish 10th and win the Champions League. Got Ronaldo there, got Bruno, they're good. You've got big game players for knockout football. You just haven't got any consistency in them. For one game, they can do it, and over two legs, they can do it. And with the away goals all gone, even easier for you. So it's one of them, isn't it? Big up to Tyler, who says 700 subs. Congrats. Absolutely. Thank you. And I could see it. What, United winning Champions League and finishing like 10th? Yeah. I think a lot of people could, and it wouldn't surprise anyone. And I think that is the ultimate thing, is it really wouldn't surprise anyone if United went on and won the Champions League but finished 10th. Like, genuinely, it would be just the sort of shithousery that comes with being a Manchester United player. Look at Jose Mourinho, sort of gave up on the league and put all of his eggs in the Europa League basket, didn't he? He won the League Cup and Europa League. He put all of his eggs in the Europa League basket to win it, to get Champions League football that way. So it's not like it's never been done at United. And I was listening to Kean from the Football Obsession. He had someone on and they were talking about how United have never given up on the league until Jose came in, because that's what Jose wanted. He was just like, just give up on the league. You're not going to win it. Focus on the Europa League and put all of our eggs in that basket. And it worked for him. It's a risk. Of course it's a risk, because if you don't win the Champions League and you don't win the FA Cup, you get no European football. So you're in the situation that Arsenal were in this season, which could be a positive to United, or it may not be. But for me, United need either Europa League or Champions League, one of the two. You have to have some sort of European football to try and bring these players that you're going to need in. Jude Bellingham, whoever else you want to bring in, Frankie de Jong, you're going to need European football to entice these lads, these players, to come to your club. So it's a very difficult situation. I could see it just near Drop Maguire. Yeah, Varane Bailly back too. And fully deserve it. Thank you. Now, moving on to Spurs, because Spurs want Adama Traore, and then we're going to talk about Jude Bellingham, because, as I say, we are going to talk about that. That's going to be the main bread and butter for the lucky people that are still here till the end. But Spurs want Adama Traore. Tottenham are still trying to sign Adama Traore in January. Wolves manager Bruno Lage is pushing to keep him until the end of the season. Spurs want to give Conte a new winger, as he asked. Spurs still working to sell players like Ndombele, Doherty, Bergwijn and Dele Alli, all of which I think will be very difficult to move on. Ndombele might be quite easy to move on. Doherty, I think, would be probably a piece of piss to move on, but it's going to be very difficult. Bergwijn, there's been links with him, and there have been links to Ajax, I think. And Dele Alli, where does poor Dele go? Where does Dele Alli go? Because right now his career is on rocks. His career's on rocks. He's absolutely screwed himself over, really, by a lack of work. It's been called out by two managers now. So Dele Alli does need to sort himself out, and that's certainly going to be the way. But would Adama Traore work for Spurs? I think it would really work for Spurs, because obviously of the 3-4-3 or whatever Conte does, in terms of that, he could play two positions on that wing, on either, I think either wing really. He could play in that wing back area, or he could play in the forward one. But I would probably play him in the sort of wing back area, because I think he overlapping runs would probably be better for him, and his final ball is shocking. End on Belland. Is Traore really the answer? He is just the Spanish Alex Iwobi with about 150 extra pounds on him. Yeah, probably. Well, I don't think he is the answer, but clearly Spurs are like, wow. They've been after him for a few transfer windows now. Look, they were more than heavily linked last year in the summer with Nuno in charge, weren't they? There was, huge expectation that Spurs were going to try and pinch Adama Traore then. Chelsea were after Adama in the summer as well, never really materialised. So there was always talks about getting someone to be back up to Reece James. Didn't get it, and now look at them, so they're screwed. But Chelsea doing mad things again in the transfer window. In fact, they've done nothing apart from recall Kennedy. So yeah, if they want a winger, a Wolves winger, Neto or Trincao would be a better options. Yeah. If you can get Neto, you've got one player there. You've got some player. I'm surprised Neto hasn't been pinched by a bigger club, to be honest, like a United, a Liverpool, a Chelsea, Arsenal, Spurs, City. I'm absolutely perplexed that Neto hasn't been pinched. Really surprised. Honestly surprised he's still at Wolves. Really, really am. I think the injury probably had something to do with it as well. Andy Carroll could be coming back soon. Trincao on loan from Barca, Neto done his ACL. Yeah. But Trincao would be a difficult one, because obviously, as you mentioned, on loan. But Neto, yeah, did his ACL, but I'm talking before that. So one of them. Big up to Max. Big up Niall. Hope you're well, bro. How was your day? All good. Hit 700 subscribers, so it's been a decent day actually. A decent one. So we love to see it. I'll take over done by tomorrow. Sue. Everyone's using Sue at the moment. Be careful, Ronaldo will probably get copyrighted. But let's talk Bellingham. The last story of the day will end up on a high. And we'll talk about how unrealistic it is to sign Jude Bellingham this summer, because I don't think Borussia Dortmund are going to let him go. Honestly. None of you are getting Bellingham. You honestly think that Borussia Dortmund are going to let Erling Haaland and Jude Bellingham leave this summer? Cuckoo. They're not. They're not. Max says, congrats, deserve every single one. Thank you. If Spurs want a winger like Traore, get someone like Doku, as he is more youthful. I agree. None of you are getting Bellingham. None of you. Borussia Dortmund are not letting Bellingham and Haaland go in the same summer. Why do you think they were quite keen to let Sancho go last summer? And they kept Haaland. They kept Haaland this summer. They let Sancho go. Right, so this summer coming up, you're going to have Haaland go, and Bellingham will stay. Then the summer after, Bellingham will go. It's how Borussia Dortmund run business. They don't let more than one go. They don't upset the apple cart too much. They go, one big player can go. We'll replace that with a cheaper, younger player that we can build up and sell. Now, Haaland will go in the summer. I'm almost certain of it. He'll go to Real Madrid. Again, I would put money on that. He'll go to Real Madrid. Bellingham will stay. So, simple. Only Haaland will leave this summer, says Joe. I completely agree. Wearing the sexy Luton away kit. Love it. Sue. Manchester United have reportedly begun talks with RB Leipzig to sign Amadou Haidara, but negotiations at a preliminary stage. Don't forget his release clause comes into effect this summer. 40 million, I think, is his release clause that will be coming into effect this summer. Liverpool fans thinking Bowen has a 20 million release clause. I don't think he does. He couldn't even afford that if it is true. I think there's no way Bowen's got a £20 million release clause. That would be madness. That would definitely get activated this summer if that was the case. Other than that, it has been very quiet for United. It felt like this, all from Stretty News as well. It felt like we would see other players leave this month, but there's not been a lot of outgoings either. The reason for that, I do believe, is Ragnick wanting to keep a big squad to deal with the COVID situation and to deal with the backlog of games, but also he's not going to be the manager next year. So there's no point in him making all of these decisions like letting Donny go, Martial go, Bailly go, all of these players leave. And then the new manager to come in and go, I could have done with the Bailly, or I wanted Donny. And then you see what I mean? So it's best if you try and keep that bloated squad as big as it can be to allow the new manager to come in the summer and go, yes, no, no, yes, yes, no. You see what I mean? To allow the manager to finalise. So Donny keep, Martial go, Bailly keep, Maguire go, Jones go, Pogba gone already. You see what I mean? So it's one of them. But United's football director John Myrtle has already named the club's top transfer target ahead of the summer. According to the Athletic, Borussia Dortmund starlet Jude Bellingham is the club's #1 pick to bolster United's midfield. The quest to sign Bellingham won't be easy to get over the line in the summer, with all top clubs likely to be joining the race for his signature. But this time, United will be able to offer him first-team football, not like when he snubbed us to join Dortmund. Now, the Dortmund, obviously, he chose Dortmund because he felt that was the best thing for his career. Turns out it was. And I don't think any of the top clubs will get him because I don't think Dortmund will sell. Dortmund have a very simple policy: 1 star goes 1 year, right? So it's not like they'll allow multiple players to leave. They will sell one, Haaland this year, the rest will stay. Then the year later comes, the other ones will go, and it's a 1 in, 1 out policy of Dortmund, and they've worked it very well. So anyone thinking Jude Bellingham's leaving this summer, I just ask you to go and see how easy it was for United to get Sancho last year. How easy was it, guys? Oh, wait, it didn't happen because Dortmund priced him out of the move. The same will happen this year. The same will happen. They'll let Haaland go. Jude will stay. It's as simple as that, guys. It's as simple as that. One big player will go. They'll sell them. The rest will stay. The next one will go the summer later. So it's Haaland's. It was Sancho's turn. Summer transfer window just gone. Haaland this year, and Jude will go the year after. So Jude ain't going to be available to buy until 2023 summer. By which point we don't really know what the situation at United is going to be, because we don't even know who their manager's going to be. Don't forget, City had probably just got rid of their manager. Pep will probably left. Klopp will have 1 year left on his deal. So there's going to be so many things that Bellingham to United is not happening. But it's not just because it's United. Bellingham anywhere will not go. So, you think Madrid will get Mbappe and Haaland then? Yes, they'll get Mbappe on a free. Haaland, they'll pay the release clause. Simple. It's cheaper. Jobs are good. 2 world-class players for the price of 1. All they'll have to do is pay Mbappe a bit more money, and they'll have to pay a bigger signing-on fee. That's all they'll have to do. Real Madrid can afford that as well. They've got money. They've always had money. Real Madrid, they could be fucking bankrupt and still have money. That's just the situation of Real Madrid. The Spanish government always helped them out as well. So, it is no real surprise. But I think Madrid will get both Haaland and Mbappe. I think Real Madrid's all about Galactico signings. I think both of them will go. It's a relegation clause. Well, I don't think that's going to get activated any day soon, will it? Bowen will not come anyway. You just don't know, do you? You don't know. Money talks in football. Haaland to PSG, Mbappe to Madrid. Nah. I think Haaland will go Madrid. I think Madrid will get both quite easily. I know this is off topic of transfers, but do you think Doncaster are beating Cambridge tonight? No. Pogba and Neymar link up happening? Potentially. Dortmund is a builder club. That's why. That's what they are known for. If you are a young player who wants a big step up in your career, go Dortmund. Absolutely, completely agree. Bellingham to United won't happen, not this year anyway. But Mbappe, Haaland won't work together. Real Madrid will find a way. They always do. They'll play like a 4-3-3 or something, some shit like that. But saying that, Mbappe and Neymar's worked very well for so many years. So I think they can make it work easily. It's just getting it to work. But Real Madrid will make it work. They will. Bellingham to West Ham in 2023. Karinsky will have full control and want to flex his muscles. Lancey, I know you're optimistic, mate, but that's not happening. Unless you get Champions League football and start winning titles, which I just don't think will happen. Sorry to burst your bubble, mate. Sorry about that. Could see that, to be fair, if West Ham keep going the way they are. I don't even think they're going to get Champions League football this year. Losing to Leeds really put the nail in that coffin, and we spoke about on last night's show, Genie did, losing Ogbonna and Zuma to injury is just, boom, that's out of question. I don't even think they get top. I don't even think they get top six. Look at the table. Look at the table, right? So you got City top of it, Liverpool, Chelsea. That's pretty much done. Then it's like a four-way dogfight. You know, United win both their games and they're above West Ham by a point. West Ham coming up this weekend. If United win that's a team that's probably above them. Spurs have got 4 games in hand. If they win even 3 of them, they're above them. Even if they win 2, they're above them. And if Arsenal win their 2 games in hand, they're clear of West Ham. So I think West Ham will finish 7th this year. I think West Ham's best opportunity is, in fact, winning the Europa League. That's honestly what I think their best chance is at winning it. Joe knows ball. Mad how Zuma is back next week. Oh, if that's the case, that might be. I'll certainly be a lot better. They will when they win the Europa. Look, I hope West Ham do win the Europa. It would be so amazing to see West Ham United and David Moyes. I like David Moyes. I do. I like Moyesy. I think he's brilliant. But I think in terms of getting top 4 from the league, I think it's going to be very difficult. I think, West Ham probably get 6th or 7th. If I'm being honest, I think, Spurs not in Europe, Arsenal not in Europe, United in the Champions League. I think that could, and United have got a big squad anyway, so they should be able to cope. Should be in the operative word, guys. But you got all of that, so I don't know. No, it's going to be a very difficult one. I want to see Moyes succeed. United mistreated him. No, I disagree. I think it was both sides. I don't need to speak about this for too long, but David Moyes came in, ripped out everything that Fergie did, all of his coaches, everything. Brought in a load of people he got from Everton, John Myrtle, a lot of them. Failed. Because what he should have done is come in, bring 1 or 2 staff in, keep the majority of them, learn from them, and slowly make changes. He went in and ripped out pretty much everything, and then it didn't work. He should have gone in there, been very slow, make subtle changes, learn the way, then slowly adapt. He went in, made too many, but United didn't put a hierarchy in to support Moyes. Fergie left with David Gill, and that's the bit that doesn't get spoken about enough. Fergie left in 2013, left a pretty shit team as well. He didn't leave. I know they just won the league, but Fergie could do that. It was not a good team. A lot of players were coming towards the end of their careers. Ferdinand Vidic, a lot of them. Van Persie, they were all slowly coming towards the end. I think he even got Scholes out of retirement just win the league or something like that. It was absolutely mad. So the difficulty I think that Moyes and United had was both ways. I think Moyes came in, did far too much wrong, didn't continue the balance, didn't continue to learn, and then make subtle changes. And Ed Woodward and the United hierarchy didn't put in a a sort of hierarchy to support and make sure that David could be successful. So both parties need to take blame. But you know what? That benefited David Moyes. It really did. Him going to United, failing, going to Real Sociedad and failing, then coming to West Ham, keeping him up, which was success, then left again and came back. You know, I think he even had a stint at Sunderland, didn't he? And all of these things, I think, have built what we see David Moyes as today. Someone who's been through everything. You know, he's been through the highs at Everton, he's been through the lows at United and Real Sociedad, some highs at West Ham, and then even more highs, obviously getting the Europa League. These are all things that I think have helped build the David Moyes we see today, which is why I think David Moyes is being successful at West Ham, because he's had to go through them lows to then go through the highs. And that's the same with pretty much every manager. Every manager's had to go through lows. So Alex Ferguson went to United. It was just low after low after low. It just got lower and lower and lower until they won an FA Cup. Then they won a league. And then, you know, they went and Champions League. And then went, you know, won 3 league titles in a row and a Champions League. So you have to go through the lows to then succeed as a manager. It's the same with life. You have to go through the lows to learn what you did wrong, to then make sure that the next time you do it, you don't make that same mistake. I think that's what David Moyes is doing now. He's gone through the lows. Now he's going through the highs because he's learned what he did wrong, and then he's been able to learn and improve as a manager to do that. So actually, United was the best thing that happened to David Moyes, and it wasn't nice. It wasn't the nicest thing to happen to David Moyes. It was the most needed because he had went to Everton and it was just a really stable ship, and he did really well. But he didn't really suffer too many lows. He went to United and suffered that low. Got sacked after 9 months or something. You know, sat before the end of his first season. So you have to do that. You have to go through that low to then build yourself up. So it's really one of them. Moyes and a massive fuck off transfer budget could only go well. It could. It could. But it could go well. It could go badly. Moyes has got Champions League football before. Could he do the same again? He could. I'm not saying he can't. But I think he'll need budget. The same with anything, really. If he wins Europa League, fantastic. You've got UCL. If you don't, try and get into UCL again, Europa League again, and push again and keep pushing. And, you know, now you're obviously going to have someone who's going to have full control, who can put more money in. You know, that can only help David Moyes in this situation. It can only help him improve the squad and ultimately help. So, yeah. Moyes flopped at United. He had a washed-up squad, to be honest. Yeah, he did flop. But again, it's not just his fault. It wasn't just his fault. It was partly his fault, partly Ed Woodward's fault, partly Glazer's fault, partly the players' fault, partly everyone's fault. Everyone needs to take a large slice of fault for the whole thing. Moyes Trophy to season ratio at United was 1. That was a charity ship. That was fuck off. I do not class the Community Shield as a major trophy. No, that doesn't work with me, bro. Doesn't work. But look, Moyes is doing a great job. But guys, that actually went on a bit longer than normal, which is actually great. I absolutely love doing these streams. I love just having the occasional chats with you. About God knows what and everything. But we'll be back 7:45 Chelsea, Brighton Chelsea watch along in the Champions League. I wish in the Premier League. That's the second blunder I've made today. I've said that Galloway signed an 18-year deal, and now I've said that Brighton are in the Champions League. Their fans are going to be orgasming when they hear that. But it's Premier League tonight. It's Brighton Chelsea from the Amex Stadium. Potter versus Tuchel. Last time they met, it was a 1-1 draw. Welbeck equaliser, wasn't it? So yeah, classist ratio as a trophy. Oh, love it. I'll never forget when we went from Cruz to Fellaini. Yeah, that on many things. There was phone calls, wasn't there? There was YouTube was brilliant at that point. There was like phone calls. It was, you know, the fake phone calls, and you had one of them was One Matter drunk talking to Moisey and Fergie, which was, I thought, absolutely hilarious. But guys, we are going to wrap it up there. We'll be back at 7:45. But until next time, thanks for watching, guys, and peace out.